There we go. I do believe we're live, so I'll say indeed and greetings unto you, beloved and holy friend. What a dear pleasure it is to have you here again on another conscious evolution. Another opportunity for us to consider finding quiet in ourselves. I think it's definitely one of those things that is significantly easier said than done. However, there are things that you can do, I find. Practicing yoga in silence definitely does do it for me. Spend some time just mindfully breathing and moving your bodies. We just had a session before this stream started and put me in that very, in so many words, almost like out of it state of mind. That's nice. I feel balanced while at the same time calm. I don't really want to call it tired, but it could be tired as well. The to be extended family has come and gone. Morning to you, Sam. It's nice having you. The extended family has come and gone. Chats were had. I'm feeling today's topic formulate in my mind as I think about what went down this weekend. Nothing went down spectacularly, but there were themes that I started noticing. There were patterns that I started to recognize. I saw that there is a lot of judgment being cast. There were many instances where there were conversations being had that, at least to me, felt like they were very much mean. You know what I mean? It's like the way that I was interpreting these conversations was in the way that it didn't feel like the family was always being very nice. We mentioned yesterday that there was a part of me that tried to, when I find things that I can see is a little bit polarized, hey, Big James, blessed to you too, it's nice having you. When I see things that felt a little bit polarized, I would speak up, right? Maybe someone was mentioned, their way of doing things. And then I would communicate, but what of these potential traumas? And the encouragement to do things in that way because of those experiences. You know what I mean? But it did, and it still does, leave me with this sense of, I don't know if I necessarily like that. And I had to, many times as well, just stay quiet about that too. Dumisane, you know what I mean? When you actively feel things being said that you're like, you can feel that they're like wincing, cringe, liked and sub, thank you, that's nice. When you're actively like whinging at information being shared, and then you just can find quiet inside. Not always. Sometimes it's loud inside. But it's nice when you can just be quiet instead. Right? Sam says, nothing went down spectacularly. What a letdown. Yeah, no WWE videos were shot this weekend because I do not see you video. Were you looking for me? Liking and subscribing is definitely going to help. Give me 1 second, then I'll do some reconnaissance. Let me check some stuff quickly. I'm going to quickly do this. There might be some echo happening. I'm going to quickly instantly goes on a glitch screen because I do not see you video. I can see me video. but I'm gonna try anyway. Instantly goes on a glitch screen. Yeah, it doesn't like being played. I'm gonna exit out and come back again. See you soon. There we go. I hope for some reason, I think it's a compression thing on YouTube side, but for some reason it messes with my audio as it comes in from this device. Let me check quickly again. Instantly goes on a glitch screen. Jeebs, that sounds horrible. There we go. I hope for some reason. That does sound better. I was looking for you. And here I am. Here I am. Do me sunny. Waiting. Why is Sam insulting us instantly? Is that the famous US politeness under Trump's lead I hear so much about? Lutz coming up, shooting from the hip at Sam as well. Sam shooting back, saying, insulting. Lutz, I'm from a part of the country where the term assholes can and is frequently used in friendly company. Yes. Not as a means to demean, but as a form of endearment. Term of endearment, yes. Yes, okay, I'll watch your videos. Thank you, Dumisane. I appreciate that. Every single one you watch is another watch that has been watched. And I do hope that every single word you hear allows you to feel. I don't know if they'll necessarily help you find quiet, but they could. Maybe if you've experienced all the noise that can come with all of the experiences that could flow through this space, at the end of it, quiet's the only thing you can expect. How's that for an experience to consider? You know what I mean? Said hi. I wonder, is that said hi a button that you can press? Nobody has. Like I've asked before. Nobody gave me any information. Why is there a said? Is there a said hi button? Or does like YouTube give you the option to go like say hi, and then you click that button, and then it says your name plus said hi. Where I'm from, we don't really need insults. People's looks already tell you what they think about you. No need for words. If you get like one of those, then you know like you're not welcome. I can super chat, but I don't have money. So you can super chat. It's okay, Kamisane. I'll appreciate. I'll be like huzzah to any donations that come into this space, but you don't have to be donating to be here. Bless ya. And yeah, there is a button. Thank you, Lutz. Freaking buttons. Button to say hi. Like, can you imagine? I mean, your girl Nia pressed that button. I guess I could imagine. I guess it is easier to push a button that says said hi than it is to type. Remember me? I do, Big James. You're the guy that got 100 subscribers. Is that right? That's a lot of people, dude. If there was 100 people right here in front of you right now, you'd be intimidated. Feel a little bit out of your depth. I think the internet definitely has completely skewed numbers in our minds a little bit as well. What we think big number is no longer be. If people don't hear million after the number you name, then they don't think much of it. And yet, even if it was just like there's 9 people in this space right now, if there was 9 people here in this circle with me, I'd feel like I'm the most popular guy in my family. Right? 9 friends. I'm lucky to keep one. My superpower is that I can get invisible. You can get invisible, but only if nobody is watching. I mean, Do cameras count? Is that a someone? Is a camera a potential consciousness considered a someone in this superpower? I'm just trying to figure out the limitations. Turning invisible. Turning invisible and stopping time as the two most suspect powers you can ask for. Right? Stopping time would not be good for you, even if you could. Oh, it's very limited. Oh, shucks. Alas, guess we'll have to make a living the old school way. I can't believe there's still more vapor left in that. This Dynavap is going to absolutely kick my ass. It's been kicking my ass. I'm ass kicketh right now as we speak. The calm is sinking deep. That should be it. If you can possibly somehow stop time, could you rob a bank? You can rob a bank without stopping time. I would, however, highly suggest you don't. Because the only thing you'll get to steal is a fiat currency, which is worthless. I'm joking. Where am I? Where am I? Yeah. Maybe only a little bit. Maybe the joke will land eventually. I think that's more the case. Robbing banks. What an interesting sentence. I'm imagining saying that sentence to an alien, for example. Maybe an alien lands on planet Earth. All right. And you realize very quickly that this alien has technologies like invisibility suits, cloaking armors. All right. Have the ability to laser anything, point laser, can cut through 20-inch steel. And then you're trying to convince this alien to give you some of this technology that you now have realized is very powerful. And your reason for wanting this technology, you say to this alien, is because you want to rob a bank. Happy 420, by the way. Thank you. That's yeah. 420 battery percent is at 77, 80% on that one. And you tell that alien you want to rob a bank. And it goes, what is rob? What is bank? And you go, you know, robbing, like taking from. And a bank, a place where all the money is. And it looks at you and it goes, your money is somewhere? You have somewhere where the money is. It's like you do realize the money is in your mind. You can't steal something that exists in the conscious mind of all those that verify. Looks at you confusingly. Sure, you can use the tech to steal pieces of paper, fine, if you want to do that. Seems silly to me. He looks like you like, what the fuck is a money? Yeah, that was the first one. That was the first one that I was kind of thinking about as well. It's like, not only does it not like really get the whole concept of a money, but on top of the you explaining to it what a money is and what its power is, you then come to the conclusion that you should all put your money in the same place, where the people that keep your money only have to keep 10% of it. And it's like, but why would you do that? Alien's brain starts spazzing out, it's like, it seems there is actually no intelligent life here on planet Earth. The old school South African way. So start software companies have your part in PayPal and then start selling cars. Yeah, I don't think I like rolled those dice. I don't think I spec that tree. I feel like that was things available to a generation that came before me. Many of the ladders have been pulled up. There are not many ways to do such things anymore. The technology is very mature, so at this point, I've realized that the only thing that I can really excel at is being authentically myself, doing things that I authentically gravitate towards, and then ideally sharing that authenticity of what consciousness gravitate towards with you friends, and you as consciousness could happen to gravitate towards this in turn. All right, there is a spectrum, there is an interconnectedness that I am embracing with this technological future that I've been born into. All right, it's not much that I can do now that I'm in it. All right, I can't be like, oh, remember back in the day when there were no cell phones? I literally can't say that because I literally can't remember back in the day when there were no cell phones. There literally wasn't in my life ever a day where there was no such thing. Right? And that's kind of wild. So it is kind of one of those things where I have to now realize where I am and the responsibility I have to play in what I become. There definitely is this weird dichotomy that I've been battling with in myself as well. And I know that it's a pretty popular, topic of note on the internet is the whole being controlled. Hurts to say it, but that's the way many people understand it. But the Matrix fractal, where the reality that we're in right now isn't necessarily the Matrix in the way that we are batteries in an actual another realm to some sort of techno over gods, but more so that we as human beings are seen as batteries, right? Energy units for which there is energy to be extracted of, right? As a part of this system. You're still being a battery. It's just the way you're plugging in is different. And then there's so many facets to it. There is so many facets to it, but it all boils down to taking your time, right? If it doesn't take your time in an actual capacity, for you having to be in the office from one period of time to another period of time, it is a show or a piece of music or all of those kind of things. All of those things technically already have a lot of time, right? And if you are the person providing that service, you want the other person to spend as much of their time listening to as much music as possible, watching as much video as possible, reading as much article as possible. La, la, la. So it is this dichotomy of, yes, I do value having access to these things. And I do appreciate the stimulation and entertainment, I guess, that it brings. But at the same time, how much of me liking those things is actually of my own design? Or is it more a matter of that's the way that the average human is programmed and that program is being exploited? Right? And then doing that soul searching and finding what it is you gravitate towards and really trying to bring yourself back to authenticity over and over again. It's not easy being a person. And yet all of us are still here. You should be proud of yourself. The old school plus again. My parents won't let me donate to you. It's okay, Big James. I don't need no donation. Your presence right now is appreciated and valued as is. Love is true. More money will come. All right. And then eventually, ideally, it will stop playing as big a role in our lives. I imagine money transforming, going from fiat system to distributed ledgers, and then going from distributed ledgers to tokenization of pretty much all assets, and then from tokenization, it's going to again trickle back down to accessibility. The more tokens you add, the more brick tokens you add to the network, the the more inflated the brick token supply is, which means that suddenly brick tokens are now worth a little bit less. And it's a great time to buy bricks if you want to build a house. And I'm not joking. That's probably how it will end up happening. And again, that's going to be the short term. And then eventually it will just be decision making. Oh, I want to build a house. My financial AI machine. Over the next this amount of time, I want to start building myself a home. Yada, yada, yada. Let's start the budgeting process. And then alongside, the finance robot that is whatever your employer is, whatever your clients are, right? However that financial stream comes into your life, will be able to literally sit down with itself and figure out how exactly it needs to budget, how exactly it needs to trade, which exact materials it will need, which exact expertise. Will it use 3D printers? Will it use a robot team? Will it use trad humans? All right, and it will be able to give you all of those stats of information. You could, again, intervene. You could look at all of those things and be like, yes, which is good, which I want. But technically, it could make that decision for you too, eventually. And then it's going to be, at the end of the day, just a matter of your imagination. All right, long future, where the financial system, the tokenization, the value transfer will happen out of sight, out of mind. And it's just going to be a matter of, do people want to actually support the vision that you are presenting? All right, and that vision presentation can be as simple as, I'm an artist. I make pretty things. You have money? I can make a pretty thing for your home. All right, that's like my basic elevator pitch. And if there is an agreement had, all right, a contract can be made. And that piece of art can also be tokenized, and that ownership can be, almost eternalized, right? And then there can be a transfer of value, and there can be a true account of that artist and the value they created by making that work of art. And there can be value put back in that artist, world as well, even though that art is very far outside of their reach right now. I'm looking forward to what the future will bring. But we are due for some turbulence. We do have a way with history. You silly humans. I'm hopeful nonetheless. Okay, is it possible for a species to make it to space in a scarcity-based economy? Technically, Sam, and this is just me being one of them, I'm actually hypes. Let me quickly exit out and come back again, just in case. And we're back. So, Sam, your question of, is it possible for a species to make it to space in a scarcity-based economy? The answer is yes. And we are an example thereof. We are, technically, at this point in our history, a scarcity-based economy. All right? And still, there is satellites in space right now giving people in rural areas internet. I am no longer one of those people because I am not in the right rural area. I'm too rural, if you will. All right? And it's not that they aren't reaching here. It's just that it's rural. I'm going to calm myself down. And then alongside that, right, there's NASA again, which also has to budget. They have to, account. We got the James Webb Telescope. That thing, we spent way more on that than we planned. And I'm super stoked about that. Admittedly, I'm super stoked about that. But if I was the one paying for it, I don't know if I would be, right? If I go, here, team of scientists, here, $5 billion, right? That's a lot of billion dollars. And they go, thank you, we'll build a cool machine. And I'm like, bet you will. How could you not build something cool with $5 billion? And then they build the thing halfway, and I can like see it's kind of there. And they go, yeah, about those $5 billion, we need more 5 billion. I would probably die inside a little bit every time. And again, I get where you're coming from, Sam, where it's like ideally we just don't have those constraints. But it is a matter of chains or supply chain. So much supply chain. And nobody wants the supply chain for free. And that's again where we're going with robotics and automated transportation. That's coming. That's going to be big deal. And again, unfortunately, humanity isn't exactly caught up with where we are just yet, Sam. That's why we're still very stuck in the whole scarcity thing. We've now created technologies, and it's still, on the grand scheme of things, brand spanking new. We've created technologies that quantify scarcity in a way that's verifiable, which is very peculiar, right? Again, I can go, this thing is it's very special. It's none like it anywhere in the world, all right? And it's worth 5 million US dollars. The first thing that you have as a thing in your mind is like, how is that 5 million US dollars, right? And that how is you trying to verify. So if, for example, this had like some sort of beautiful design on it, maybe it was some famous persons and they died or something, or right, like add your contrived reason for value attachment to this thing. And there was once an auction, and this thing had at one point sold for 5 million US dollars. And I could show you the paperwork of where the deposit amount was put for this thing to be that value, right? That would be my ability to verify to you that this thing is in fact valuable. Now imagine having that with everything. Being able to actually verify everything. Being able to verify where your food comes from is a big one for me. I really look forward to that. I love, and not just for the fact of like, oh yeah, I'm not eating toxins, but just for the curiosity. I'm okay a little bit sometimes. No, I'm not. There's a part of me that's screaming. I'm not okay with eating toxins. I understand that I probably have consumed toxins, even unbeknownst to me. I'll say that. And I haven't dropped dead just yet. So in that way, I'm okay. Yes. However, what I really care about is actually just knowing where it came from. If I'm going to eat some grapes, wouldn't it be awesome to know on which part of the planet, right? Being able to scan a QR code on the thing of grapes that you have, and then it literally opens to you. It's like little ledger entry, and you can click on that ledger entry's little map, and it takes you straight to the little parcel of land that the grapes that you're consuming right now grew on. Right? To me, I like stuff like that. And maybe not everybody does. Maybe that's not that important of a use case. But it is going to create a whole layer of, again, authentication, verification, and transparency in the way that there is accountability, I feel, again. Right? Like I think that is in part why we probably don't know where a lot of our stuff comes from, is that nobody really wants to take all of that responsibility onto themselves necessarily. And at the same time, people can build brands for themselves where taking that responsibility onto yourself can make you more money. All right, in the long term, people trust you, and that trust is valuable. And that trust, again, with ledgers, can be verifiable. I can go and check and be like, and again, with AI, eventually, you won't necessarily need to. The cream will rise to the top. The people that are good to other people will get the most support. All right, and that's going to be the way that we ideally are incentivized, because that's the thing. That's like one of the big things about the ledger-based technologies that resonate with me, is that it incentivizes, right? It incentivizes rule following, if you will, instead of punishing rule breaking. You heard what I'm saying? So what? Yeah, sure, you can. You can try and punish people if they break rules. Guess what? You ain't got enough punishers, and people are crafty, and they'll break the rules one way or another. However, if you really incentivize people following the rules, all right, being good, feeding people food that doesn't kill them, all right, suddenly that becomes the driving economic factor. Ah, yes, let's see who can treat people the best, who can make the best possible product, who can garner the most human attention from the perspective of respect, all right, very much so. Like creating something so good, just in so many words, creating something so good that people love it. Feels so, I don't know, almost like cliche, simple, if you will, but at the same time, I really can't see something more worthy to pursue. I really do want to make good stuff. I have a compulsion to. And I don't know how long it will take me or what it will mean for my process of trying to remain quiet inside either. But I'm willing to see it through, even if it takes me a lifetime. We'll make cool stuff. Mm-mm-mm-mm. Zoom, 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 zoom. Think I missed a few. There we go. Okay. Is it possible for a species? Yes, it is. Maybe you mean like get all the way to us. Again, I do believe it would be. It's just gonna be very like I would love to be able to synthesize. Like let me just do this. Let me just I want to have a conversation with a language model a little bit just to see. We're having a conversation about a scarcity-based economy, specifically as it relates to being able to become spacefaring. Very much so as it extends to the capacity to go interplanetary, intergalactical would be ideal. Is it possible for such a species to become interplanetary in that way in a scarcity based economy? And the other question, is it even theoretically, right? Does it fit within the realms of quantum and physical possibility for a matter synthesizer to actually exist? Something that builds atom by atom. Like, is that possible? I know we're 3D printing with pixels these days, but it's hard for me to wrap my head around it. I think it is possible though. Like I've seen documentaries where people kind of like go into depth of like, we can technically, technically we can. It's just a technological, uh, limitation at this point. Scarcity based. It is an entity kind, a life form. I wouldn't say no, Sam. Is it called entity if it's shared consciousness? Not sure about my English right now. If it's like a hive mind, is it still an entity? Yes. Hmm. The way my mind, like, so the reason there's some almost like glitch there, is the fact that technically a big forest, some forests, have like almost like their own trees propagating all over, and they match and mesh their roots with one another, and they communicate through a network of fungi that's attached to them. That is technically a hive mind organism. But I don't know if I would call it an entity. Would I? I feel like an entity is something you need to be able to converse with for some reason. Is a dog an entity? I don't feel so. All right. I think another person could be an entity or an alien. Something intelligent enough to have like discourse for some reason. That feels like the rules to me. That's probably not the right definition. The scarcity based questions. Can a scarcity based economy lead to interplanetary and intergalactic civilization? A short answer is possible, but it would be extremely inefficient. There it goes. Unstable and unlikely to scale. Well, there you go, Sam. So technically, I think you are long term right. No, you can't go spacefaring with scarcity based. However, this is the question I'm really curious about. Is a matter synthesizer, atom by atom assembly, theoretically possible? Yay, that's what I like to read. Short answer, yes. Within the bounds of known physics, atomically precise manufacturing is theoretically possible. I'm looking away because I don't want to read that, but what it would require. Positionally controlled nanoscale tools, machines that can grab and place atoms precisely one by one, like a kind of nanoscale robotic arm. That sounds bonkers. Very cool though, but unrealistic. Like imagine big arm that becomes smaller arm, that becomes tiny little arm, that goes smaller, smaller arm, and then it goes all the way to like holding a freaking atom in its little hand. That's that sounds insane to me. Sounds really cool, but I don't know how you would go about making that because again, if you're holding atoms, what are you holding the atoms with? Other atoms? Are you like? Is it like the end, just like a string of atoms attached to like four curved string? I'm gonna stop. We'll need vast error correction and stabilization. Atoms are small and quantum effects are noisy. Maintaining precise placement in a thermal environment is very hard. So it's going to be probably like close to like sub-zero, in that fractal as well. It's going to be absolute zero probably. Needs to be super cold so the atoms are like while they're getting moved super still. Programmable energy systems. You can't just move atoms around. You need to control their bonding, quantum states, and local energy fields. I don't even know. Where are we now? We already have scanning and tunneling microscopes, TSMs, that can move individual atoms, a form of ultra slow matter synthesis. That's cool. I think they use one of those to like make that boy with ball, where they like made a little movie with atoms of a little boy playing with a single atom as a ball. You see that? I don't know if this is fair use, but I want to show you this. Boy. Is that what it's called? I'll add atoms to it. Let's see if this thing's gonna start loading. I'll read here first. Well, there are different things we're living with. There are aliens, then there are entities. Yes, that according to some freaks out the US congressman live in a dimensional parallel to ours. Yeah, parallel is one way to see it. Entity itself doesn't delineate consciousness, I think, just state of being. Okay. Such things are wild, realized, rational, magnetized stuff. More than insane, bless your hoops. It's nice having you. Serendipitous timing. How do you weigh it? How do you weigh in on aliens? I see tools just getting rusty. That's because Europe is fucking like burps. I'm with you on the burps part, Sam, you friends. So aliens are not so strange as to think, like we do, about themselves as being so special or whatever, us self-obsessed humans. Yeah, the way I'm interpreting is like the aliens are the normal ones. We're the ones that are like obsessed enough of ourselves to believe we're the center of the universe. I mean, as Europeans, I think I might be biased on the part of unknowing conspiracy, self-obsessed humans. You hit the nail on the head, Hoopy. I am reminded of the Giordano Bruno, who had a moment of clarity and figured out that the universe is infinite and does not revolve around the earth. The church set him on fire for it. Yeah, unfortunately, he got set on fire. Here it is, IBM's. It has like 25 million views, so you might have seen this. There's you. That's you being held. Can you see the reflection of yourself? Let's see. It's gonna take some time to load, it seems. Then, 100 years later, had to eat their words when famed astronomer Galileo. Oh, here it goes. Maybe I'll pause it and give it some time to buff. Buffer. Galileo came to the same conclusion through observation. Yeah, must be rough. Nancy! Oh, you've been missed, dear friend. It's nice seeing you here. Some people are so obsessed from being self-obsessed that they lose themselves in the process. Hey, I'm in Oslo now. Bless, did you move or you live again? Disconnected for a bit there. That's really a lot of dollars. Yeah, it costs a lot. Let me check quickly again the exact amount. I'm pretty sure you're talking about the James Webb conversation. How much did the James Webb telescope cost to manufacture all in? Because I believe the first budget was like 5 billion. And then they ended up like needing 11 or something like that. This internet is it's trying its best. Well, actually, nah. We're leaving our trash everywhere inside in cosmic waters, throwing buoys out. I don't think we can. We like throwing away our tax dollars on boondoggles. Yeah. So the James Webb telescope, from initial concept to first 5 years of operation, cost approximately 9.7 billion US dollars to NASA. Uh, so yeah, total program 10 to 11 billion. What was the initial budget? That's where the things come in. It's like, oh goodness. And again, Sam, the other side of it, right? This is still in a system of capitalism, technically. So if there was no capitalism at the same time, it would have ballooned to astronomical amounts. The initial budget for the James Webb telescope was dramatically lower than what it ultimately cost. In 1996, when James Webb was first proposed, it was estimated to cost between 500 million to $1 billion. Right? So again, now we're back to the whole fractal of like, yeah, it's fine. I'm happy that James Webb is in space right now, behind the moon, taking photos as we speak. I love that. I love that for us. However, however, if I got told that, hey, oh, you're gonna get this cool sensor, it's gonna be up there in space, and all it's gonna cost you is probably 500 milli, a billy max. 500 milli to a billy max. Come on, don't be so stingy. And then it ends up costing me $11 billion. I'm gonna probably be seething, right? I'm gonna be seething. By 2001, NASA formally projected the cost at 1 billion, with a planned launch in 2007. How it grew. Over the next 2 decades, a perfect storm of technical challenges, scope increases, underestimated complexities, and management issues drove the price tag up. By 2005, it was 4.5 billion. By 2010, it was 6.5 billion. By 2011, it was 8.8 billion. By 2021, the final cost was 9.7 billion. That is that is biobunkers, biobunkers, being bumps. Right, and again, I sure am happy that there's a space, there's a satellite in space. Oh man, are they gonna give me like a bunch of intro instead of just showing me the video that I'm here for? Fine, there it goes. Them moving an atom. IBM research. These freaking mad lads. Please keep playing. That is a singular atom they're moving. You can see the waves it's making around it as well. Like it's kind of brain breaking. You freaking scientists. Can you imagine? Can you imagine you're being a scientist and you're doing this with your time? And again, this isn't moving this way in real time. This is them moving things on a plate and then taking a snapshot and then moving things and taking a snapshot and then putting that together like a movie afterwards. But still, go and watch it yourself as well, IBM. That video is now 12 years old. I remember watching that when it came out, and it melted my brain at that point. I was 15. And I was thinking to myself at that point as well, like, if this is what human beings are capable of right now, what's gonna become of us? Right? In a good way. Yeah, mostly in a good way at that point. There still is a lot of change to come. A lot of boondoggles to be tax dollared. I was just at the Resistance Museum, and it's amazing how you can easily insert Ramtas or Ritrus and SS Premier. Yeah. Make idiocracy great again. Be being good people, will we be needing incentivization? Starving people or treating them with respect? If I get a choice and I do, only one lifetime. I'm missing the context, but I feel like you're echoing some of the stuff that we were talking about before. Sam, how is Seth? I think that's your son's name. You're right. Seth is right, obviously. Correct me if I'm wrong. Has baby Zano had her baby yet? Has Zano had her baby yet? I don't think so, but I think she's getting close. By the way, I talked with Hendrik today over the phone. He can't really hold it and type on it yet, but there is possibility that he's watching right now. I asked one of the nurses to put you on at 4:15 if she got time. If you're here, Hendrik, you're loved. We've been thinking about you, dear friend, and sending you so emojis, imagining you just getting better and better by the day. What happened to Hendrik? He had an appendix burst. Then, while he was being operated on, he had a stroke. Then, he got operated on again. Then, he was recovering in the hospital, half of him kind of disabled, doing physiotherapy. Then, he had another stroke, another 2 strokes. And then, he had 2 more surgeries on his brain. And he's in recovery right now. So, do send him as much love as you friends can muster. Jeeps. Can't even imagine. What didn't would be better question. Yeah, the most recent thing, 2 surgeries because of brain hemorrhage. Oh, that's right. Not stroke, hemorrhage, bleeding in the brain. Thanks for letting me know, Lots. Thanks for asking, Nan. Sending you blessings. His name is Seth. He's fine. He's 5 months old, 16 pounds. And holding his head up very well. And the hub watch TM and T together. He's learning how to laugh. So beautiful. Big dude, like an absolute unit. They went well. It was diagnosed a bit late because they thought it was a second stroke, but they operated in time. Perfect. For Hendrik to have had this many major medical events and not come out of any with superpowers is bullshit. Yeah, I think he's gonna love. There he is, Hendrik. I'm here. Type his heart. Love is true. Hendrik is here with us. Oh, that's so wholesome. I'm so happy that he is. Yay, curiosity. Yay, bonding. Yay, local energy fields. holding Hendrik in our local energy field as well. We've been having conversations about the future that's to come. Every time Hendrik gets help, it's only going to be better at the very least. I believe that's the truth for all of us as well. Hopefully they'll manifest eventually. Hendrik, we're happy to know you're here. That German autocorrect right there. Wie gest is there? Hendrik, my dude, I just found out what happened. I hope you heal up quickly. Love is true. Unlearn to send love too. Healthy, wholesome Hendrik. Yeah, manifest. I'm back. Noodle Boy's back to send love. Oh, Noodle Boy, use your collective mind. And I'm not even joking. I want us to use our collective mind to just imagine our friend Hendrik, right? You don't have to know what he looks like. You don't have to know exactly what's wrong. But imagine a person in the world somewhere. Imagine them with a big smile on their face. Their name is Hendrik. Hendrik Bosse. Bussy? I hope not. I'm sorry, bro. Hendrik. And he's just feeling the sense of like upliftment. He's light. He can like get up from bed, putting his feet down, doing a big stretch, making himself a coffee. Right? All of us can imagine that. Sending that good energy to Hendrik's nervous system. Being like, oh, like this? I can, do normal human things, it says. Totally. That's all. We could also imagine Hendrik doing one of those like acrobatics things where he's like on those double vault poles and then he does like one of them spinnies and then he like flies and then he catches the other pole and then he spinnies there. I don't think we should do that. I'm sorry, Hendrik, for us imagining you like that. I'm sorry. But I mean, maybe your central nervous system is like, can we go back to the other one? Like I can do the coffee making. Like spare me the acrobatics. Don't push it, buddy. We love you. Yes, we do. Deutsch lads. Übersetzer, audio tema. He's speaking. Love is true. Remember Elon sending a Tesla into space? I don't remember that actively, actually. Like you reminding me of that is the first time that information came back up into my mind in like the last year or maybe more. How about that? Yeah. Hey, Prairie Wolf, it's nice having you here, friend. Thanks for all of your kind words and love, y'all brothers and sisters in spirit. And Sam, if I wouldn't push it, nobody would. Pushing to be here again as soon as healthy and as possible. P.S. The pain meds are revived. He sent me a voice message on Theoma for me to translate. Love is true. If you're reading this, sending healing vibes. Thank you, Prayer Wolf. The pain meds revive. Oh yeah. Enjoy that shit, buddy. Yeah, I mean, if it's the space, right? Literally having had brain surgery. Jeez. I mean, he wanted to give me some of his last time I visited because you and your mom should try them since the last surgeries. They even upped the dose. So I can only imagine the trip. Uh, those things are very powerful. Good old sensors in our bodies. However, those buttons are for the brain surgery kind of occasions, I believe. I'll just say that much. Only getting brain surgeries or maybe like having bones broken should those kind of buttons be pressed. Otherwise, don't push those buttons. Stay away from them. They don't need your fingers being pushed by them, sending you strength. Stop getting surgeries. Love is true. Thank you, Wolf. Testing. Future is here. Here we are in the future. Stephen G. Hope for 100% recovery, Hendrik. Thank you, friends. All of us sending so much love in this space. I really do appreciate your love, friends. How did you manage that testing? That's so interesting. Love is projection of what we imagine. Have you read Future is Here? Love is projection of what we imagine. The only true love is the love of Allah. We have too much imagination. Sam, I mean, for one word to another, no connection. Love is true, dear friend. Oh, there is no separation. Remember, remember, you cannot separate. There is no separating. You are, we are one with everything. This mofafo Vugs, as Isaac guy, I think he just got his meds refreshed. He is getting less coherent on his audio. And me, as melty being, I'm sorry, Hendrik. Love is a projection of what we imagine. I do believe this. Do I? Could be. I think the only thing he senses right now is the vanatno. We have too much imagination. There is no such thing as too much imagination. Agreed. Tomorrow, Lutz is here. We watch together. Love is true. It's going to be nice to have you, friends. Would you say that the Dr. Seuss or Shakespeare or any other bard who has utilized language in strange and unnatural ways? I am confused. Did you? Did you just call Shakespeare a bard? I think he would be. Yeah, absolutely. Shakespeare is probably like the OG bard, right? Like the bard of all bards. The bard all bards aspire to be. He was indeed a bard, yes. I like how Sam is like, bro, Shakespeare is must be bard. How could you even question? Unacceptable. What we have now, DNA origami is another thing. Just like to touch on these hopes, Sam. And DNA origami and molecular self-assembly lets us design structures at the molecular scale. Ah. Oh, we're gonna go down a weird tech tree, aren't we? Oh, jeebs. Did something just happen to my stream? I'm gonna try something. Back again. There's still some weirdness happening. Like my UI at the top, instead of being like here on the screen, just suddenly moved to the left. Strange. Molecular 3D printers and theoretical proposal from Drexlerian Nanotech. Engines of creation lays out blueprints for such devices. Yeah. Something happened to stream. You'll have to let me know. Like, give me a message to let me know that things are still alive on that side, because I don't know. The character we create is our heart and we yearn for. Wrote sick rhymes, engaged in political intrigue. My stream seems to be having a hard time. There we go! Things are back to the way they're supposed to be. Mosquito coming past me as well. I don't know if this is better, technically. I'm gonna try something again. Give me 1 second. Yeah, it's fine, Melt. Thank you. Trouble Trobetics. It's fine, Melt. Exactly. I'm so confused. Then maybe the German word bard has also a different translation, because in German, bard is basically a traveling musician. Huh. I mean, I think it's one of those things where not all bards are traveling musicians, but all traveling musicians are bards. Right? To me, at least. Where I can imagine a bard being someone that, again, maybe travels and only puts on a show, right? Theater, for example, and that would also be a bard to me. However, if someone walks around with their little ukulele or whatever and plays people's songs, I would also be like, yeah, that's also a bard. Wordsmith. Yeah, bless. I mean, Trobadics isn't traveling, but more like Shakespeare. I am confused. I only speak 2 languages. Please have mercy on me. What I do know is that it's time. It's time for us to see with our eyes something we haven't before. Yesterday was the number 3. Hey meow. Hey cateth. Hey catus. Hey meow meow. En een meowmaker. Maker of meow. Maker of meow. Meow maker. Maker meow. Look at how small that meow catcher is. I promise my hands are not that big. This is just, I mean, I have big hands, but this is a small cat. Full grown small cat. Does your cat like the snake method too? Yeah, it's getting eat like snake. I love it. I love to get eat like snake. I don't know why cats are so peculiar. Say goodbye to the people. Nah, Lutz, you're arguing with a bard on the definition of bards. It's the bard from Asterix and Obelix. Yeah, he definitely did song, but again, he was not an appreciated bard either. Right? More fractals. Not a definition per se, but our translation of the definition in Germany. Not in the definition, bless again. I bet there's a better word for lyrical genius who also stabs people in the dark in German. For some reason, like I just want to like be like, isn't that Eminem? I don't know why. I don't know if Eminem has ever stabbed someone in the dark, but it just feels like it's funny to say. What? What, meow maker? What, maker of meow? What? What you want from me? What do you want? What do you want? I don't understand. I am complete oblivious. I am so confused. You have no wares to sell me. There's nothing for us to barter. Yeah, get him a stretch arm. Get him a big stretch. Only for a second though. Don't you want to make some big stretches more? Don't you want to make big stretchies? Yeah. These creatures we have around us, huh? Making sounds and stuff. Same word, different meaning, like handling. German word for cell phone, for example, is cell phone. A German word for butterfly is Schmetterling. Cat reminded us to not take ourselves too seriously. Yeah, they can be pretty chill. I'm trying to show more. You got to see some tail. Kitty Lovins. Oh yeah. I appreciate you, friends, for joining me in this moment. It is time. I've been hoarding this. Schmetterling. But I call it Schmetterking. Yeah, I do like butterflies too. Them Schmetterkings. Wanum banum. Bam bam. Yeah. What is your eyes telling you it sees? Have you ever seen such a thing? Beautiful flower. Thank you, Hendrik. Beautiful you, bro. Like you, Hendrik, unironically. like breathed some new life into my love for these pieces as well with your joining this space. And I appreciate that, dude. You are appreciated. Get better soon. It's like I'm getting better as soon as I can, Melt. I'm getting better sooner. Don't be giving me back talk, Hendrik. I'll have you at your best by tomorrow. Thank you very much. No excuses. Else you get 10 lashings, of course. 10 lashings for not being at your. Want to see you standing upright, tall, saluting me, bed made, sheets straight. I love you, friend. You got this. Here is today's poem. Hope that you can relate to it as well. It's called This Is. New name, my plan, the weight of my feet against the earth and the soft breath leaving me whole. The sky doesn't ask who I am, it just opens. Light spills in like it's always been here, waiting for me to notice. I forget the noise, what I should be, who they think I am, what comes next. Right now, I am skin and pulse and something warm between the ribs that needs no fixing. No arrival, no design, just this. The air knows my name without saying it. The world melts around the center of my being, and I am not chasing anything. I am already what I was trying to become. You already are. Almost thinking about it from a perspective of foundation. Right? A lot of us can feel very unbalanced, ungrounded these days, especially. Realizing that you've already become that thing, that person you set out to be, you can reset, at least at the very least, the appreciation you have for yourself. And then what's to come next. By the way, I said hello in general channel on Discord. At what time will this song be today? There it is. Do let know. It will probably be posted, I think, at the very least. And if not, there is going to be at some point just like stuff going on the Discord. Like, can you not? No, don't lick my fingers. Joe, you still here? Jovan has a thing today. Yes, true. We haven't ironed out times yet, but when we do, we'll tag everyone, so you'll get a notification. Perfect. Sounds like a plan, Sam. I'm looking forward to it. Love is true. Thank you, dear friends, for being here with me again. It was nice having this time. I'll see you again soon on a tomorrow's. I appreciate you, friends, for joining me today. It is always appreciated having you here, being so present. Love is true until we do it again. Goodbye for now. Cheers, friends. Love you.